มหาการุณิโกนาโถตถาคตภควานบุตตาปัจเจกพุทธะอรหันตปุริสัตวะพระรัตนบุริสัตวะบาบาไซบดรบีอเมริกานโมพุทธายะนโมธรรมายะนโมสังฆายะเจพิมสังคีโชดังโชกีโชกนำลาชังโชบะดอดักนีกับโซเจดังกีจินโซกีเพโซนัมกีโดลาเป็นสีสังเกดุปาโชสิมเจนนัมเกชัมปาโลเจจิตาจิตาวาเสทรงทดมงเทกไปโชกีโคโลโคโดโสตายตาคเตคเตปะระคเตปะระสังเตปุริสวาหาอุมานิเปเมSo, we respected to the most venerable Dr. Pramaha Janya Suthiyanu, the abbot of Wat Phut Panya, and respected to the most venerable Dr. Pramaha Narindrinto, and humble greeting to Tanajan Vacharin Akkakari, and greeting to you all, Ubasok, Ubasika, and all the followers, devotees from different parts of the world. So today I'm gonna talk about the Lojong. Lojong. So welcome you all to come and learn together and see the meaning and understanding the practicing from the Tibetan point of view. So we are on the topic of Lojong. So Lojong means mind training. And as you know, the Lojong practice, we might heard from the Gelugpa traditions. And also, if you listen His Holiness Dalai Lama always try to talk about Lojong. So easy to understand what the Lojong is mind training. And so let's see a little bit about history of Lojong. So Lojong is the practice involved refining and purifying one motivation and attitude. And there are various sets of Lojong. We have in Lojong also we have many kind of Lojong tradition that come from Chakawa Yeshe Doje in the 12th century, and there are another set of 8 Lojong slogan by Ramche Tengpa, and in the Yimapa tradition there is a list of 7 Lojong slogan which are the part of the Sokshin Yingteng lineage. So we have many kind of Lojong, we have many Lojong tradition and come from different Buddhist school of Tibetan Buddhism. Not only come from Gelugpa, also come from Kaju, come from Nyingmapa as well. But anyway, let's come to the beginning of Lojong, how the Lojong come. So Lojong or mind training practice was developed over a 300 years period between 900 and 1200 CE at a part of Mahayana school of Buddhism. So the first master who brought Lojong to Tibet is Pandita or Acharya Atisaripankara. He was a scholar, and also he was a Mahashita. He was a great bhikkhu or Buddhist monk from Vikramshila University in Bihar state at that time, and he was a Bengali master or Bengali meditation master. In general regarded the original of the practice. It is not described in the Lam on the path to enlightenment, Patipa, but rather is based on oral teaching, not in the text, but come from oral, or in Pali we call Mukkapatha, teaching from voice, from voice, from talking, but not written on the text yet at that time. And also it is not described in his Lamb on the path to enlightenment. And the practice is based upon his student with his Sumatran teacher Dhammakiti, one of great mother, and the Indian teacher Dhammakiti, a prominent teacher Otantaburi. So in Otantaburi is a one place that at that time the Mahayana and Tibet and Vajrayana Buddhism very rich at that area, in Otantaburi, right? A very strong Vajrayana Buddhism at that area, Otantaburi. Right now, I think we call Orissa, in the southern part of India. And both these texts are well known in the Tibet tradition. Atisatipankara, third major text of the Lojong, is said to have been the junior Kushil, known also as Maitri Yogi. Maitri Yogi. So he taught to one yogi, and Atisa journeyed to Sumatra and studied with Dhammakiti for 12 years. He then returned to teach in India, but at advanced age accepted an invitation to teach in Tibet. So then Atisatipankara come to Tibet, but come by invitation, where he stayed for the rest of his life. And of course, Atisatipankara, he came from, he's originally a Bengali person, and he came to learn and become a scholar, become a teacher in Vikromsila, and then he came to Tibet by invitation, and he died in Tibet. Atisa journal to, a story is told that Atisa heard that the inhabitants of the Tibet were very pleasant and easy to get along with. Instead of being diligent, he was concerned that he would not have enough negative emotion to work within his mind training practice. So he brought along his ill-tempered Bengali servant boy who would can come along with him and spend time with the Tibetan teacher, then like to joke that when Atisa arrived in Tibet, he realized there was no need after all. So, and one of person, his name is Kekawa, is claimed to have close. Let's see the last point. So the Atisatipankara came to Tibet and tried to reform about the Tibetan Buddhism. And Tibetan Buddhism at that time is not so good. So, it's not, at that time the Tibetan Buddhism faced many crises about the Tibetan Buddhism. many problems there, and so that's why he tried to reform about Tibetan Buddhism, and then that kind of reform developed at we call Kadampa tradition. So later on we call Gelugpa, but at first start from Adisatipangara we call Kadampa tradition. So I think I will stop talking about history from here, and I will come to talk about the teaching of Lojong that I found this information from the Lion's Rose, one of the internet website. It's very, very, very well known and very useful, I think. So let's see the way and how of Lojong or mind trainings. So the teaching on Lojong are invaluable aid to practitioner. They show us how the wisdom and skillful means of the Mahayana can actually be put to use. Remember that the Lojong practice comes from the idea of Mahayana Buddhism. But I don't think you will heard the Lojong from the master from Taiwan or from China, or even Mahayana Buddhist monk. They're gonna talk about Lojong. Even the Lojong developed from Mahayana point of view, Mahayana ideas, right? So the teaching on mind training or Lojong are invaluable add to practitioner because they show us how the wisdom and skillful means of the Mahayana can actually be put into action. They show us how to make it real. The Lojong teachings include instruction in formless meditation, in the practice of sending and taking that we call Tonglen, and in post-meditation practice. We are talking about post-meditation practice, not the modern or not the traditional meditation, but I'm talking about post-meditation or postmodern meditation practice, putting our meditation into action in our daily life. These teachings are attributed to the great 10th century Buddhist master Atisatipangara and became widely known after the Tibetan teacher Geshe Kekawa arranged and summarized them in a collection of 59 mind training saying or reminders, often referred to simply as the Atisa slogan. This the essence of what it means to practice the Mahayana. The Atisa slogan are useful for practicing the Bodhisattva path in 59 easy steps. So the practicing of Lojong is close to, the way or the guide how to be, the way of Bodhisattva, how to get enlightened person or get enlightened like the Buddha. And Lojong something work with a bodhicitta and the Bodhicharyavatara that written by written by Pandita Santideva or Analaya Santideva from Nalanda University. When we study with Lojong, we have to combine with the text from Santideva about the way of the Bodhisattva, and we have to combine with practicing with what we call Bodhicitta also. Yeah. So the power of the slogan is that they break down the Mahayana idea for loving kindness for us. Rather than simply giving general guidance on how to be a true practitioner, they actually spell it out in detail. Spell it out means talking something straightforward, พูดตรงๆ They give specific guidelines both for how to approach meditation and how to awaken in daily life. So the main practice Lojong is formless, not form. The practicing of Lojong meditation is not form but formless, and apply our Buddhist practice in the daily life, and guide us how to be a true practitioner, and they give specific guidance both for how to approach meditation and how to awaken in daily life. It is easy to be, to learn to understand about compassionate and generally aware, but when we actually look at what we are going and how we interact with others, it is a different matters along together. At the saying gone, the devil in the details. So when I first encountered the practice of Tonglen and the 59 mile training slogan attributed to Adisa, I was struck by the combination of down to earnest and profundity I had already been taught about the importance of Lojong formal sitting meditation with post meditation practice. But apart from notion of trying to be more kind and aware, I was not at all sure how to go about it. This teaching gave me a way to unbreak general notions such as compassion or wisdom into specific guidance that I could apply to my life, and they placed the practice of meditation with what has spread me about the tradition to begin with within a greater and more complete understanding of practice and what it means to be a practitioner. I will read some part, not at all, because it take a long time. I'm sorry to do that. So let's see. In the Mahayana, goal is to become a Bodhisattva, who embodies wisdom, compassion, and openness, and the way to do that is by training in generally discipline, patience, and meditation. These five are the methods that will get you there. The skillful means, but those skillful means need to be joy with wisdom, or the vision to let the way with is prajna, or transcendence knowledge. Together, these 6 perfections are the Mahayana received for success on the path. Working with slogan began to chip away at attitude that hidden our relationship, our inner understanding, and our happiness. The chipping away process began with meditation practice, with the purifying of our restless mind. With that foundation, we can begin the practice of Tonglen. So in Tonglen, we practice reversing the habit of viewing everything purely through the lens of our own self-interest. Instead, we began to appreciate how we are continually interchanged with other beings. So, slogan open up the possibility of relating is a more flowing and genuine way. The less caught up in fear and self-protection, we see that we do not have to passively accept the relationship partner we have fallen into. We can make change. In Tonglen, we breathe out what we normally crying, and breathe in what we usually avoid. In doing so, we walk with quality within ourselves and with issues that arise in relating to others. The Adinsa slogan related to his number 7. Sending and talking should be practiced alternatively. These two should ride the bird and I have a little bit time, sorry. So the mind trainings or Lojong slogan skillful, proud up to listen up and drop our pretentiousness instead of just thinking about being loving or compassionate. They spell out how to do it. Their focus is on action, not just attitude. We could have all sorts of loving and kind truths and feel all warm and frizzy, but so what? The point is to help His word and other at the same time as we have the mantra to do. So every time we are preached, awake my born of the slogan and adjust our attitude or behavior. We explain our understanding of what it is be skillful. So working with the Atisa slogan is a wonderful way to bring practice into all aspects of your life. They work not by grand creature, but by the accumulation of many titles, interruption to momentum of ego confusion. In the midst of activity, a slogan pop up and is in instant you change course. In the way, little by little, originally action are liberated into bodhisattva activity. Because it is so easy to lose track of practice, mentality, and work from a more sorrow and conventional fallback position. It is good that we have these handy reminders to wake up on the spot. Through the power of mind training, we never run out of opportunity to fill out limited action into the skillful methodology of the Bodhisattva path and our limited version into the insight of Prajna. So should one of the following Lojong scholars to work with over a period of 3 days, be grateful to everyone, always maintain only joyful mind, don't try to be fastest, don't be swear by external circumstances, or always meditate on what evil provokes resentment. On the first day, use the slogan to reflect on how you relate to your spiritual practice. On the second day, bring the slogan to mind in reflecting on how to heighten personal relationship. On the third day, apply the slogan to your relationship with Congress and your approach to your work. So this is the writing from Julie Leaf, one of the Buddhist teaching and the editor of many books of the teaching by late Chotriem Sungpa Rinpoche. She is the author of Making Friends with Thy. Her teaching and new podcast Dharma Krempe are available at now, so we can try to learn about that. So I think today I'm gonna stop now, and before that I will give a short blessing to you. May you be free from suffering, danger and animosity. May you be healthy, peaceful and true happiness. May the Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha and Bodhisattva protect and bless you always. So thank you for you all to come and watching and to be patient with my English. Thank you so much. So see you again later.